Did you get to see any of Sami Zayn today? He was interviewed by Ariel Helwani, and this was a really interesting interview. When it comes to the Rumble on Saturday, this is the big question going in, and we did not get anything near a definitive answer regarding his status for the Rumble, which was interesting tonight. They could always do something on the show if he's involved in the match, injure him to make it clear he's not coming in. But as of 24 hours out, you do not know if he's in the Rumble or not. And his explanation, first of all, he said, as of this interview, which I believe was done Thursday, he said, I do not know what the plan is for the Rumble. Like, I don't know. But he says he feels the fan base is a bit different than a few years ago when they turned on they turned on the match because of Daniel Bryan's handling in 2014 and 2015. He doesn't sense the crowd revolting like that. It's a bit different. And that if you do things right, you can do almost anything. But if you do it poorly, then you might walk into that contempt. And he has a lot of faith in the people putting this together that they won't find themselves in that predicament. But it's there. I don't think it would be shocking if you are going into that 30-man match and it's not clear Zayn is not in the match, then that is a risk. Do you think it is a high-risk way, or do you feel this is one that maybe this is just sort of the memories of years past where this became a thing and they're not necessarily courting that?
I mean, I certainly think it's a high risk. And I think I agree with Sami Zayn in this interview when he says that he has trust in the people putting the match together to make sure that we don't have a similar situation. For one thing, I think this is, might be a creative sort of a regime that's a bit more aware of, I think, what the internet buzz is. And this is more than internet buzz at this point. It's damn near an expectation. And it's one that I actually think that they are going to try to use to their advantage. Whoever it is that eliminates Sami Zayn in the Royal Rumble is going to have the biggest heel reaction potentially in that Royal Rumble match. And it could be a Rumble elimination. It could be something that takes him out beforehand. But I think there's a lot of potential to use this to their benefit.
There's also the argument that if he's not winning, does he need to be in the Royal Rumble? And you just
he could be there at the start before Cody.
Yeah, but it's almost like why do it then? Why just put him in there
to heat up whoever tosses him out?
Well, it's like you have the direction for Owens, or for Zayn, but it depends. Like, you're not just taking a fresh guy to all of a sudden send Sami off with. Like, Zayn has his story, so if it makes sense with his current story, sure. But there's also the possibility of him involved in the title match, and you do some big angle with Sami that takes him out in some way, something significant, and it's very clear he's not coming back. Then he talked about. He was asked, could you be the guy that wins the championship? Do you envision yourself in that role? And he gave like a really meaningful answer stating like there is a difference between being the champion and being the top guy. He can definitely win the title. He could beat Roman Reigns. He could hold the title for a couple months. He could do all the media rounds. That is not a difficult proposition for him. But I do have the physical limitations that I know this company looks at when it comes to being the face of the company, like a John Cena or a Roman Reigns. And he acknowledges like that is something that he comes up short in and probably cannot see himself, or at least the company seeing him as that face of the company. And, got into topics that you don't often see in these kinds of WWE talent interviews, discussing like the fact that he is somebody that he sits down with different talent, and when he's putting together a match, he's got no filter, and it's that passion of his to put together a great match that can be off-putting to people. He can be dismissive of others.